Hello, this is Mike with MatterFix.io, and this is one in our series of pro tips videos that we're doing for the Matterport service provider community. And in these videos, we try and go through common problems that you might have with your camera that may require repair. And what we do is we talk about the problem, how you diagnose it, and then go through your options for getting repairs done. In this particular video, we're going to cover our fast fix or DIY kits. We offer a couple of kits for very basic repairs that can be sent through the mail, and you can complete the repair yourself. Now, first of all, you want to think about if your camera needs repair, you do have several different options. If your camera is under warranty, quite often Matterport will do the repair for you and cover it under warranty. If it's not under warranty, you can send it to Matterport or send it to us at MatterFix. Currently, we are not able to do in-warranty repairs. This is the middle of July, but we expect within the next few weeks or so to be able to offer some basic warranty repairs on Matterport cameras. But for right now, Matterport is in warranty repairs. MatterFix is out of warranty repairs. We typically complete our repairs and send cameras back to customers the day after we receive them. So that kind of talks about the repairs in general. Now, on the DIY or fast fix kits, like I said, it's a very limited number of things that we offer the kits for. You can't go too far into the camera without having the chance of causing some serious damage. So we offer the kits primarily for the Wi-Fi antenna replacement, which usually that is the camera's dropped and the top this is the top plate. The top plate goes like this. It has popped off and the Wi-Fi cable's broken. So that's the basic symptom you can see from the outside. There's a little bit more to that, which we'll discuss. So that's the Wi-Fi antenna replacement. Then we also, if you drop the camera, but everything seems to be functioning fine, you don't need a new Wi-Fi antenna, but the case isn't fitting back together correctly, the bottom's popped off, you've lost the bottom. We have a kit for that will walk you through putting it all back together. One of the other kits that we offer, not too common, but we have done it a few times, is a replacement of the charger port. That's when you plug your charger, you have a good charger, your charger is good, your camera is good, you plug it in and nothing happens. We have a kit for that. And then last, we will, this is primarily for people that are out of the country where it's very difficult for them to send their camera to us. There are a few error messages and some other issues that you might encounter that we can make up a custom kit for and then walk you through the repair process. The kits typically, the basic kits are $200 plus shipping. The custom kits can be a little bit more if we have to make a video or something specifically for you for that particular issue. So the kits are really good if you determine that you've dropped your camera, the Wi-Fi antenna is torn, it needs to be replaced, but everything else is fine, and you're kind of a do-it-yourself person, or you're comfortable repairing electronics, the Wi-Fi kit is a good choice there. The charger port kit, if you're certain that it's just the charger port and there's nothing else going on, that's a pretty easy one, and we can recommend that kit. And then for people that are out of the country specifically, where it's really difficult because of time and money to send your camera through customs to the US, and we fix it and send it back through customs and that's another good, if you're in that situation, you're a good candidate for one of our DIY kits, or our fast fix kits as we like to call them. So what are the kits? Here's a Wi-Fi antenna replacement kit. Comes in a package like this. We can ship internationally. It usually costs about $50 international. Domestic, 2-day shipping is usually about $20 or so. The kit comes with a tray to organize all the screws in. It comes with the nut driver handle for taking it apart, a spudger for removing certain items. It comes with a new replacement antenna, some Kapton tape to put it back in place, and then all of the bits that you need to properly disassemble the camera, do what you need to do, and put it back together. We also include access to a detailed walkthrough video that'll guide you through step by step how to complete the repair. And we're available to do a Zoom call or consult through email if you run into an issue or something like that. So that's kind of what's involved in the kit. The charger port kit would be the same thing, except for obviously it would have a charger port instead of a Wi-Fi antenna. The custom kits, that would depend a lot on the particular situation as to what would be involved in putting one of those together. And then probably the, as far as the Wi-Fi kits go, or if you drop your camera and the top or the bottom popped off, you need to be aware that when a Matterport camera drops, this is a Pro Light. It has the top, the bottom, and the front, and the sensor array removes this so you can see inside. This is the camera. This is the camera's chassis, this metal frame here. The mount is here. And then the sensor array goes in like this, sits into the camera, and it has two aluminum rods that go through and hold the sensor array in place. So if you can imagine, if your camera drops from 4 or 5 feet or tips over on the tripod, it can suffer a pretty hard impact. And although you may just think, oh, the top popped off, I just need an antenna, it'll be fine. There's a pretty good chance that you could have some other damage inside the camera that you can't see. And that damage primarily is bending of some of the internal components from the shock of falling over. It's very common for these sensor support rods to bend, and if you can imagine, if they're bent, that distorts your sensor array in the camera and can cause visual things that you can see, but it definitely can cause your 3D data to be off. So that's something that can happen. The frame itself, or the chassis, you hit on a corner, we see that get bent. That can cause error messages and that. So if you're thinking about ordering the Wi-Fi kit, there's a few steps that we suggest that you take to test your camera out. We're going to walk you through those right now. The testing, it would be to see, okay, if I replace the Wi-Fi antenna and I go ahead and start using the camera, is it going to perform okay? Because when you fix the antenna, that's all you're fixing. You put it back together, there may be other issues. So to see if you might have some of those other issues, of course, the first thing you want to do is turn the camera on, make sure you don't get an error message. You can get a sensor error or something like that if the camera's been dropped. You can rotate the mount by hand. It should be a nice, steady, firm resistance all the way around. No clicking, no looseness, no play in it. If you have any of those issues there, that means possibly the clutch assembly's been damaged. Go ahead, power the camera up, put it on the tripod, connect your capture app to it, and initiate a scan. When it scans, it should move very nice and smoothly. If you're familiar with the camera, used it, you're real familiar with how it's supposed to do. It should move very smoothly from one position to the next and stop, move, stop. If you see any stuttering, jittering, jumpiness, anything like that, hear any clicking when it's moving, then that's a sign that something inside the camera, most likely is something in the drive mechanism that is messed up. And there again, replacing the Wi-Fi antenna is not going to help that. The next thing you want to do is, say you've dropped the camera and the Wi-Fi antenna doesn't appear to be broke. The top's on. That cable could still be pinched and it may need to be replaced. And the way you test for that is, as soon as it completes a sweep, you're going to get the message on your iPad. It's going to say, okay, to move tripod or move camera. From when you see that message to when the image fully transfers from the camera to your iPad, if you're standing 5 to 8 feet away, should only be from 4 to 7 seconds. If it takes longer than that, then that's a sign, or you get a disconnection, then that's a sign that, even though it appears fine, the Wi-Fi antenna cable has probably been pinched in there and it's not letting all of the signal go through. But if that tests fine, then you go ahead to the next thing you want to do is do a scan, move the camera, do a scan, move the camera, do a scan. Make sure you get alignment. Make sure it's not having any problem aligning from one setup to the next. Then open the Capture app and look at one of the scans inside the Capture app. That's the blurry, it's the pre-processed image preview. But what you really want to look at is the stitching lines, the vertical stitching lines. Each time the camera stops, you got 6 positions. It creates an image, and then those images where they meet, there's a vertical line, and you want to be sure that there's not any significant offset. If it's at 10 feet, if it's a 1/4 inch off or just slightly off, that's no problem. But if you see a noticeable offset in any of those vertical stitching lines, then that's a sign that, again, that something in the camera is bent. Most likely the sensor support rods, but it could be the chassis. The next thing you can do is just go ahead and, if you want to be really sure, is go ahead and upload a model. It just needs 4 or 5 scans at a fairly small model, and look at the processed model. Go through it and look at all of the horizontal lines, baseboards, the top crown molding, window sills, over top the windows, over top of doorways, any horizontal lines. Go around and inspect them and see if you see any offsets. If you see any offsets in those, then that's another sign that your camera is definitely, there's something out of alignment in it, something's gotten bent or whatever. So like I say, the Wi-Fi replacement kits are great, but you just want to be sure that replacing the antenna is going to solve your problem. If you're having any of those other problems, the camera probably needs to be sent in for repair. Okay, that kind of wraps up the Fast Fix or the do-it-yourself repair kits. To review, we offer them for very limited, easy repairs. Wi-Fi antenna replacement, the housing's out of alignment, something's missing, possibly a charger port replacement. So those are what we offer them for. They're pretty easy to do. You get all the parts, everything you need, and a video to follow through to guide you through the repair process. And then we're available to help you if you get stuck. If it doesn't work for you, you can send the kit in with your camera and we'll refund your money on that. The other thing to consider, though, is pretty important, is just replacing the Wi-Fi antenna going to fix your issue? It's important to go ahead and do those tests of your camera, make sure your models look good, make sure you're not having any other issues. Like I said, at MatterFix, we're authorized by Matterport to do Matterport camera repairs. We typically complete the repairs and send the cameras back to customers the day after we receive them. We warranty our work for 1 year, and we're available to help you with anything that comes up. Thank you.